Hey guys, my name is Cush. Welcome to Cush Tender. Today we are going to be covering the very, very important topic, the most important topic of tonic water. Okay, so what exactly is tonic water? Like, what is it? Why is it? What is it? Where is it? How is it? We'll get through the how, the why. I don't know if you can answer the where is it. It's just sort of ubiquitous. It's most ubiquitous, though, with a spirit called gin. Gin and tonic go together like peanut butter and jelly, like French toast and being well overweight. Those two things go together really, really well. And there's a reason for that. In fact, the tonic that we know today came out of gin. The reason that they taste so well together is because one was made for the other. Since a long time ago, the Dutch have been making gin. And then when they fought against the English in the 30 Years' War, the English found gin. And oh my God, the English love gin. That is a big, big thing with the English. And the English also, for a long time, loved sailing around the world and conquering places. That's just sort of what they did. They like gin and they like conquering. When they were sailing, though, the problem with sailing from anywhere before we had vaccinations, before we had medicine, before we had anything, we had to stop from getting these diseases, from getting things like malaria specifically. That's what we're dealing with the tonic. And there is an ingredient that goes into this that is anti-malarial, and it's this stuff right here. This is called Cinchona Bark, but the element in here that is anti-malarial is quinine. That's what we're trying to get out. If you've ever had just pure quinine, you'll know it's very bitter. And if you've ever had too much quinine, then you'll just be listening to me right now because quinine in too big of a dose will definitely make you go blind. So if you guys are just listening to my mellifluous voice, I imagine that gin and tonic was well worth it. But this tonic water that we'll be making today is going to match gin fairly perfectly. That was the idea. In order to get this malaria medicine into sailors' bellies, they had to mix it in with the gin, and just quinine would have tasted awful, so they put all kinds of other botanicals in here, all kinds of other flavors, and that is how we get tonic. Tonic you see today will be completely clear, and it'll come out of one of those guns. We call them guns behind the bar. That is not tonic. I'm sure that there are some elements to it, but real tonic should have an element of real quinine. I will be making this entire thing in this guy right here. This is called a Hario. This is a Japanese coffee maker. You can just take a boiling pot of water and boil this as well. I just like this. If you have a chance to pick up something like this, I would recommend it. Not only will this make tonic, it'll make all kinds of other great syrups. And if you don't like vodka, but you have a ton of vodka, and you do like gin, but don't have any gin, you can actually make gin from vodka in this. But let's start making this. So first of all, we want to fill up this bottom bulb, this bulbous bottom situation. And we're going to only be making as much as we can possibly store inside of my tiny fridge. So we're going to be doing 2 full cups of water right in there. We're also going to be putting one small, about 1 ounce shot of vodka in here. The vodka is going to keep this tonic so that it stays. You guys have seen some of my videos. I like things that stay, so I put a little booze into it. This is just regular vodka. Let's start filling the top part of my Hario up. Right here, we're going to start with Cinchona Bark. We're going to do 14 grams of Cinchona Bark. It is a tree bark. The next step is this guy. These are juniper berries. Juniper is where gin gets his name. The Dutch word for juniper is Juniper. So Juniper is shortened down to gin, and then we get Juniper from juniper. I always like a very floral type of tonic. So this right here is most of my florals that I'll be putting in here. This is all lavender. I'm putting in about a half of a tablespoon of lavender. If you want this to be a little spicier, I always like a little spicy. We're gonna do about 6 berries of just allspice. This is cardamom, green cardamom pods. I did not realize, but these are weirdly expensive. I did not have any idea before I went to go buy them for myself away from the bar. The last 2 ingredients are going to be in somewhat powdery form. This is in granule form right here. This is just salt. I do like a little salt going in through here. Salt doesn't necessarily need to make your tonic salty, but it should instead just bring out all the flavors. Just a pinch of that should do. And then the last ingredient that isn't fresh is this stuff right here. This is called citric acid. Citric acid is all the acidy parts of citrus, lemon, lime, everything that tastes sort of tart on your tongue. That's what this is. We're going to be putting in 31 grams of that. That's for the non-fresh ingredients. We do have a couple of fresh ingredients. Really just a lemon and 2 limes. This is just a potato peeler. Again, quickly on Amazon you can find it. You just use more of the rind, less of the pith. You use all of the fruit. So hang out for a second while I just peel these guys. Who knows how much of that disaster will stay into the final cut, but here I have the rind of 1 lemon and 2 limes. Once we have all these ingredients securely put on top of our water, on top of our boiler, we're going to turn on this heat. We're going to turn it up real high, and we're going to wait for this all to boil into here. So why not wait with me for a second while I have a... I'll have a drink. Let's have a drink together. So what we can see right here is this water is heating up, it's boiling up, it's expanding up into our chamber that has all of our stuff, all of our flavors and all that. So as it expands, it opens up so that it can take in all of these flavors, and then we will see exactly how that goes from here. Alright, so now we see that this is all boiled up into here. All the water has expanded into this. We're going to give this a stir just to make sure that all of our citric acid, all of our salt, everything else is in and good in through here. But you can see that nice red color. That's what we're looking for. That's all that cinchona. That's all the stuff that's going to keep you from getting malaria. So if you're ever at a place that has malaria, definitely order a fresh gin and tonic. That's step number 1. So that looks like it is the right color. We're going to let that go for about 2 minutes maybe with the stirring, and then we are going to turn the heat off. As the water recontracts, it'll fall through our filter back into our bulb, actually infusing it a second time. So the heat once, the cooling twice. So let's give it one more stir, and then we will turn off this heat. And we'll watch what it does. So this is almost done cooling. It's going to, and the last step, it's going to bubble all the way through. Let's listen for it. There it is. So now we have infused all of our ingredients into the tonic. We're going to take this top part off, being fairly careful with the heat. There we go. Toss this right over into here. Now, I'm only going to make a cup and a half of this because that is all that will fit into my mason jar. I have a cup and a half of sugar. We're just going to match equal parts. So right there, and then we're going to pour our tonic right there. So now what we have is tonic syrup. So if we're going to make a gin and tonic out of this, all we have to do is add gin and soda water. That's that. It should have that tonic tartness. It should have that tonic bitterness. And it is good. It just is good. It just makes it, you can just feel the summertime rolling off of this. You can store this for about 3 months, 4 months maybe with the vodka in it. If you're not using vodka, store it for about 3 weeks. My name is Cush. Please like, subscribe, share, friend, find, call, text, whatever you guys want to do to get a hold of me. If you do want to buy me a shot, there is a way to do that down below. And that is that, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't get malaria. Most important part of today. Don't get malaria.